Karen, just to be clear, you didn't do it.
We know who did it, Steve. We know.
Remember those days when it was a tragic accident that she was so upset about?
My client has no criminal intent. She loved this man.
And you loved him, I'm sure.
I didn't. We were dating. We were dating.
Is there talk of marriage?
No. No.
Did you want that?
Karen was just a babysitter with benefits.
John made it clear to me, I'm never breaking up with you.
Except that his niece and nephew said that he was trying to break up with her and kick her out of the house, and she refused to leave, like a psycho.
Johnny and Karen were arguing. It was kind of towards the end of their relationship.
The vibes were good, yes. Yeah, the vibes were good.
John, I hate you!
And then John says, not into fighting all the time, correct.
They just seem to be in a happy place, you know.
At 2:34, he writes back, I'm not answering, stop calling.
Pervert! You're pervert!
Happy, having fun, laughing, just very normal.
You're loser. Yourself.
So after Karen Reed's murder fundraiser this weekend, where she hosted the Skids of Massachusetts and autographed full-size posters of herself like the narcissist she is, she got served by Hank Brennan.
Isn't it amazing that ABC, NBC, Boston Magazine, and Fox all sat on alleged confessions and never publicized it? That's malfeasance on all your parts. That's a fishing expedition. They don't exist.
This is the first time since John O'Keefe died she didn't have a huge smile on her face, and she looks upset.
You're about to go on trial for murder. Why are you smiling? Your boyfriend is dead.
She's a narcissist, and she's worried about one person and one person only, Karen Reed.
Put the car in reverse and ran him down and left him there to die.
She knew she had struck John O'Keefe, and she knew that she had left him behind.
She even drove back to the body at 5 a.m. to make sure he was dead before she brought the search party to find him.
I don't know. I don't know if she stopped, if she slowed down, if she got lost, if she took a wrong turn somewhere.
She stated to Miss McCabe, could I have hit him? Did I hit him?
She didn't say that. Who said? Jen McCabe says she said that.
I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
The firefighter said that she said that too.
Who's the firefighter?
Repeated, I hit him.
Katie McLaughlin, who's her best friend?
She's not a close personal friend of mine.
So by Turtle Boy logic, if you're on a track team together in high school and a murder happens, you're automatically in a pack with them. Murder pact for life. They're gonna help you cover it up.
7 of you in a hot tub together, correct?
Small problem. These other 3 paramedics, they weren't on the track team.
I hit him. I hit him. Oh my God, I hit him.
Kind of running around screaming different things.
Could he be dead? Could he be dead? And she said, could I have hit him?
Several times I hit him. I hit him.
Miss Reed calls her father and her mother a little after 1 o'clock on the night she struck and killed John O'Keefe. She called both of them, and those calls were unanswered, according to the phone records.
He didn't answer, and I texted him, John is dead.
She said, Dad, I think I struck something.
She thought she hit him.
She hit something.
Nobody debates that. She said she thought she might have hit him.
Why do you admit to it?
She didn't admit to it. She didn't admit to anything close to that.
It was preceded by a did. Said, could I have hit him? And proceeded by a question mark.
Because who would ever think that he actually got beaten to death and left outside in the cold by a bunch of animals?
So they just got lucky that she hit something that night?
They got extremely lucky.
Karen, how did the taillight get damaged?
You saw it. I backed up into John's car.
Anywhere from 0 to 5 miles an hour. Would that create the damage to the taillight that you observed in this particular case?
At that speed, no. I had told both Jen and Carrie that I cracked my taillight.
How she found out about the damage to her vehicle, to which she stated, quote, I don't know, it happened last night.
She said, Dad, I think I struck something. I said, what do you mean struck something? All right, this was in the hospital, right? She says, I remember, all right, backing up and hitting something.
It is not a fair conclusion that a person would be so fixated on a mere nudging of another car that caused no damage hours earlier when we're dealing with the potential loss of life.
She knows exactly what she did, and she's trying to buy and lie her way out of this.
My client, unfortunately, was diagnosed with having a brain tumor.
By the way, I hate this woman, and I hope she puts her foot in her mouth. I hope there has enough, basically, metaphorical rope to basically hang herself with her interviews. She's a narcissist.
There are a number of public statements that Ms. Reed has made to a national audience that don't reconcile with other statements she has made at other times.
Since Karen Reed never said she did a three-point turn, that's just untrue.
Well, it's in the affidavit that she
Michael
said that.
Proctor said that Karen Reed said she did.
I know, everyone in the country is lying except for her.
She stated that she made a 3-point turn after dropping him off and left.
The thing is, she originally said she made a 3-point turn back when she was claiming it was a tragic accident because she had to explain why she was ever in reverse.
She says that's what she says happened, that he ran to the door.
She says that now.
She said that before.
Originally, she said...
She was asked if she saw Mr. O'Keefe walk into the home at 34 Fairview, and she stated she did not.
In many, many interviews, the story changes.
And I had the passenger side facing the driveway. And I said, John, can you just run in there and pull at the foot of the driveway? It's snowing. John has no coat on. It's windy. So I drop him off. He goes up the driveway and approaches the side door. And as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone, see him open the door and put his head inside.
At one point, she has them going to the side door of the house. In fact, in 3 of the interviews, he's going to the side door of the house.
Why aren't you signaling to me? So soon thereafter, within, Dennis, probably 2 full minutes, I start calling him.
Are you getting ticked at him?
Yeah, I am ticked at him at this time, yeah. So
what happens next?
I left.
Well, that's the most blatant lie of her entire story because we have her phone records. We know that she never called John O'Keefe until she was across town connecting to his Wi-Fi. So, no, she never called him while she was outside that house, called and texted him. She didn't text him till 20 minutes later. And then 30 minutes later, she says, John, no one knows where you are. Really?
And it pissed me off. Because 1, I didn't really want to be there. 2, I had to go to the bathroom.
Balloon knot leaks, right?
Yes.
The Commonwealth does not resent that Ms. Reed has made statements to all of these different outlets. She's entitled to. She's presumed innocent. She can make all the statements she wants. But when she does, there is a consequence for that. And they now bear the consequence of these statements that have been made. And so, since it is not a confidential informant, it's a very public, identified person, it's Ms. Reed herself, the argument of Doe and promulgation has no merit.
She's changed her story so many times, and her cult wants to equate other witnesses not remembering details as if it's the same thing as Karen changing her story, making up lies about the last time she saw her boyfriend alive when he is dead in the snow. That is not the same as not remembering what time you called somebody or what time you looked out the window. Get a grip, y'all. You nuts.
But could I have clipped him? Could I have tagged him in the knee and incapacitated him? He didn't look mortally wounded as far as I could see, but could I have done something that knocked him out and in drunkenness and in the cold didn't come to again?
And this would have been the moment you dropped him off at the party.
Yeah, would have had to have been. Within minutes of him exiting my car is not answering his phone. Minutes.
I feel like I was fooled.
By who?
By Karen.
John, I hate you!
Minutes.
John, I'm here with your kids, and nobody knows where the you are, you pervert.
What does she mean she doesn't know where he is? It's a blizzard. Where the hell else would he be? He's either with you in your car or wherever you left him.
John O'Keefe and Karen Reed never entered my house.
12 people didn't see a guy go in the house. That's what you were relying on. 12 people also didn't see a body when they left.
I did notice something out of the ordinary, like a black blob in the ground by the flagpole. I also was not looking out my window.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Did anybody in this courtroom ask you if you were looking out your window?
I wouldn't be staring at her grass, so no.
Okay. I didn't ask you where you were staring. I was just asking if there were any obstructions.
And nobody knows where the you are, you pervert. Minutes.
John has no coat on.
He's not chilling in a blizzard with no jacket.
Hey, Karen, we saw you outside of my sister's.
I saw the black SUV arrive.
There was another vehicle in front of us.
Up the hill towards us.
On the same road coming from the opposite direction.
It was a black SUV.
I've noticed a male and a female in the car.
A car length and a half in front of me.
There was another car that I hadn't recognized before. It was a dark SUV.
Saw it pull up, stopped, pulled up again, stopped, pulled up again by the flagpole, stopped. That's all I saw.
Just turned around and looked through the blinds.
It wasn't going 50 miles an hour, correct?
I mean, I didn't have a radar gun on me, but no.
Goes up the driveway and approaches the side door.
0 people have said that they saw him enter the home.
Because he's dead.
And at any point in time, did you see anybody exit from that vehicle at any point?
No.
You never saw anyone around the SUV, correct?
Correct. Ryan Nagel didn't see him go in the house because he ran. Because he was real quick. Because he ran because it was cold out. He must have ran real fast. That makes sense to a lot of people. What doesn't make sense to anyone that does not make sense.
His phone did not enter that home.
Oh, really? Actually, it did. So he was going up and down the stairs between 12:21 and 12:24.
But Waze says he didn't get there till 12:24.
The Waze does not say that.
They were with the ascending, descending stairs. They would continue down through this little piece here, take the right onto Cedar Crest. They continue down Cedar Crest, missing Fairview right here, and then turn back around and then come to the house.
Julie Nagel, who is unrelated to the Alberts, was waiting for her brother to arrive, standing by the door looking out the window. He pulled up a car with his girlfriend and his friend. Julie Nagel comes out to the car, talks to her brother, and goes back inside the house. There's no chance in hell that John O'Keefe just slipped by them and went in the house. Furthermore, his phone data shows he never went further than the spot that he was found.
This is GPS point number 345.
So whether you like them or not, these are facts.
There's no any plotted points anywhere other than right in this area for the rest of the night. This is where it stays.
At this point, you have to believe that John O'Keefe was wearing an invisible cloak and he went into the house and nobody saw him.
Now, that's 74.5% as far as the pressure being applied to the accelerator pedal, correct?
Correct.
So the Lexus data from the first trial shows that she pushed the pedal down 75% of the way, got it up to 24 miles per hour, and there was a reduction in speed, but no reduction in acceleration, meaning she hit something, and the steering wheel jostled, and that was the data that we saw in the first trial. So now the prosecution is asking to re-examine that data, and Karen Reed's team is like, no, don't examine it. But if she was innocent, wouldn't she want them to re-examine the data? Because if a better expert came to look at that data, they'd clearly see that she did not hit John O'Keefe, right? But no, she doesn't want them to look at it. Ask yourself, why would that be?
That as I slowly edge my way down the street, he's going to say, wait, Karen, where are you going?
3 feet, area where the GPS signals all plot for the rest of the night.
No, they never came into my home.
Nobody put John O'Keefe anywhere but where he was found, and that included his girlfriend.
The characteristics of the object that comes in contact with a person will often leave the characteristics on that person in the form of an abrasion.
And she's pointing the finger at everybody. Everyone's lying except for her.
Where was the shoe?
I don't know.
The Canton police searched it. They took his body out of there, and he's wearing one shoe.
The other one's
Where's
gone.
the other shoe?
Shoes can't come off in a pedestrian impact.
So how drunk were you?
I had felt like I had alcohol. I felt that I had a buzz. But I did not feel it was unsafe for me to be operating my vehicle.
Everybody's mistaken except for you.
Do you understand what a defense's job is? They're hired guns. They look at the evidence and look for what they can use.
Yeah.
They're ignoring a lot of shit just
What are
to
they
focus
ignoring?
on.
Tell me one thing they're ignoring.
All of Karen's voicemails telling him she hates him and screaming at him and stuff.
You're a loser. Yourself.
Oh, how many voicemails?
They have that.
So there's one
right?
voicemail of her saying, I hate you.
I called him just over 50 times.
50 times?
Yep.
And it's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to incriminate myself further by leaving a
she's a
voicemail
drunk
saying I hate
idiot.
you.
I think we know she was a drunk idiot that night.
Oh,
right?
yes. She's the idiot. She's college educated, teaches, but she's the idiot, not
You can
The
tell
person
she's
who
a
doesn't
drunk.
believe
Look at her
anything
face.
We were happy, having fun, laughing.
You pervert. You're a pervert.
Just very normal.
They got her at home on the Ring camera footage at 12:41. It's undeniable that she went by there at that
They don't
exact
have her on the Ring camera footage. She deleted that.
No, they have that. She did not delete anything.
I answered the phone, and she said, John's dead.
Because he's dead.
He might have gotten hit by a plow.
Miss Reed came running up my walkway, saying that she had cracked her taillight. We need to go to Fairview. I told Matt that I was going to go with Karen.
I remember there was one piece of metal sort of sticking out.
She told me that she had to remember the bad times.
So I looked over and I didn't see anything. And I looked at Jen and I said, she's crazy. And I unlocked the door and I sat back and watched. And she ran over to a mound of snow.
I saw nothing.
But couldn't see him right away.
I had to get out of the truck to see.
How soon was it when you pulled in there that you saw John's body?
Immediately.
Because she knew where he was.
It didn't look like John. I mean, I couldn't see his face or his hair, but I knew it was him.
I dug his head out, up the snow.
Carrie wiping the snow off of John's face, and I could not believe that that was John laying there.
And she said, we found him in the snow at 5 a.m.
Karen, did you ever say I hit him?
I did not. I said I hit him.
It was several times.
It's on the rear door, right underneath the window. Any transfer that could have been left behind by a victim.
You're able to exclude at least 99.895% of the population.
830 non-alien times more likely if it originated from John O'Keefe and an unknown individual than if it originated from two unknown, unrelated individuals. The world population, I think, currently is about 8 billion, which is an 8 followed by 9 zeros. And 510 non-alien has 30 zeros in it. So it's larger.
Refusing to take accountability for her actions. Not only that, but pointing the finger and blaming innocent people.
This is a direction, a directive. Either you trust me or you don't. God chose Karen Reed.
I'm the proud father of Karen Reed.
To be in this situation because only she is strong enough.
Be courageous. Be factually innocent. Karen Reed.
This was a cover-up that John was murdered inside that house. His body was placed outside.
Ms. Albert, how many steps is it from the front door to the basement?
Steps? I think he walked into the house. I think he was confronted, was likely brought down to the basement.
You have never been in a hot tub with Colin Albert, correct?
Not that I know of, no.
Is it unusual for you to see him sort of practice fighting?
I wouldn't call that practice fighting.
You show him how you would throw a punch?
I don't remember that, no.
Welcome to Lovewood Galleria. Let's get justice for John O'Keefe. We got Brian Elhurt sitting in the front. Woo! Shout out to you. Cough killer, cough killer.
You do know that your husband is a highly trained fighter, correct?
Objection.
I'll allow that.
Absolutely not.
Who are your college roommates?
At some point, did you flip him around?
Yes, I just said that here as well.
Did you clench your fists that night?
Looks like he's been in a fist fight and he's been beaten.
A highly trained fighter? No, he's not.
They were playing a little grab ass with each other.
Yeah, I get overwhelmed easy, so.
I'm not gonna make up a time. I don't remember.
Was Caitlin in the...
Yeah, why is he fucking recording me?
Was Caitlin in the house when they murdered John?
What the fuck are you doing?
Was Caitlin in the house when they murdered John?
Calling the cops.
Even in one portion of it, I was fooling around with Brian Higgins.
Fooling around?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Are you saying, taking you literally, that they grabbed each other's asses? Is that it?
No, I'm saying grab ass. It's a figure of speech.
The negative or hate that's directed towards me, mostly me and my mother, is because we support these people who are being falsely accused of something they didn't do, right? And their lives have been turned upside down and partially ruined.
Paul O'Keefe used the money that was raised for the children of John O'Keefe for his own purposes.
Celebrating the indictment of Karen Reed. Has anybody in this courtroom today asked you about the other mutual friends who were there?
Hey, sweetheart, Katie, I can promise you, on your wedding day, you will think of me.
I mean, you'd have to split it up and quantify what conversations were about the actual case and what conversations have been the harassment we faced since then.
You're fucking maggot. How so? You don't punch your fucking head. Really? Like you guys did to John? You guys like punching people. I know you like punching people.
Get the fuck away from
I mean, are you gonna do what like what you guys did to John O'Keefe? Are you murdered him? No? I mean, I'm just curious. Are you gonna punch me? You said you're gonna punch me.
She's not a close personal friend of mine.
I can't wait till you have kids. Oh, please, hurry. Please, I have so many thoughts and ideas. If it's true, Caitlin, I'm praying that it's true. I need a new hobby.
Isn't that correct?
Okay, if I said that, yes, because I was not sure. I'm still not sure that if he was there or not.
Nevercracker wouldn't like a photo of somebody on his lawn with drinks in their hands, correct?
The cartoon character, Nevercracker?
Yes.
Yeah, he was actually asking us to watch his house while he was away.
Did anybody believe that? That John O'Keefe would ask this guy to watch his house while he was away? Did you see the number of signals? It was like he's a pitching coach giving the signals to this guy.
Tell me you're trespassing. Please leave.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you a question.
You can't ask me anything.
Okay.
Get out of my store right now.
Okay. You don't want to answer any questions?
No,
I mean, you're the one that
not
messaged
to you.
me.
Not to you,
Why
buddy.
not? What's
Not
wrong
to
with
you.
me?
Get out of my store, please. Thanks.
Where can I find Colin?
You are a loser.
He thought it was hilarious. We actually showed him other people that photo too. They thought it was funny.
Oh, you thought it was funny because you like to mock people. Because you and your wife like to mock people by jumping on their fence and straddling it and putting the thumbs up and sending pictures to people. And everyone thought it was hilarious. And he's even laughing. This is disgusting. Disgusting.
She likes to look at me and smirk.
She asked if somebody could be alive in the snow without a jacket.
She grabbed my hands and she said, Google hypothermia, Google how long it takes to die in the cold.
Hey, Jen, how you doing? Fancy seeing you here.
Sorry, do you have a child on the team?
Do you?
I do, so I'm trying to watch.
No, I'm at a public event, so I can do whatever I want.
People showing up at our house.
You guys are being taken for a fool.
That's terrible.
We're being taken for a fool. Tell us how.
People emailing my school. Just like a lot of harassment.
They killed a police officer, John O'Keefe. We're done with this. She Googled how long to die in cold.
There's so many lies and misconceptions on social media.
Everyone except Jennifer McCabe.
Find out how long to die in cold and why someone would Google that at 2:27 in the morning.
There is no indication of a Google search at or before 2:27 a.m.
You made that search at 2:27 a.m. because you knew that John O'Keefe was outside in your sister's lawn dying in the cold, didn't you?
Absolutely not.
And why 2 cop killers are up there. Cop killers!
Karen was screaming. My hands were shaking, and she was saying, Google hypothermia, how long does it take to die in the cold?
I'm of no doubt that the only time those two searches were conducted was at 6:23 and 6:24.
I do not have any specific Celebrate certifications.
And that's shown that you were wrong, correct?
That is correct.
That's not what you said in your affidavit that was actually filed under pains and penalties of perjury with this court, correct?
Yes, and if I've caused you any distress, I apologize.
Credible witness, highly credentialed. That's all you have to listen to. Case over. Free Karen Reed.
I don't remember specifically what I Googled, but I do know what you've put out to the social media.
How about this? Long to die in cold. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it's been everywhere.
Why does that sound so familiar?
Because you've put it out in social media.
Long to die in cold is what you put in to the Google search, right?
If you say so.
Is there a reason that you don't want to admit to that?
Absolutely not.
It's a simple question, right?
No reason.
So say it. What Google search did you use?
Objection.
Sustained.
No harm, just have a couple questions. Looking for how long to die in cold. I wonder if you had an answer for that.
I did this. Fuck off. Jennifer McCabe shirt. I'm gonna wear my Jennifer McCabe shirt for the rest of the trial.
I mean, we know these people. I mean, Jen McCabe has been a family friend of ours. She was friends with my sister. We've known her for over 10 years.
Because that piece of trash up there left him out to die in the snow.
It brings tears to my eyes. It's not right. It's horrible. The truth needs to come out.
They have no interest in securing the truth. They have aligned with Karen Reed, and that's the end of the story. They don't care if she's guilty.
The factually innocent. Karen Reed.
They just want to share her common enemies, which is every single one of the witnesses in this case.
There is no story. There's facts and truth on this side. There's no story. The story that you've created is not the truth.
Did I create it? I hit him, or did you?
That's fact.
It's obvious with all the evidence that she didn't do it.
In a state of shock, everyone was running around, and what seems to be forgotten is that my friend was lying there on the ground.
Well, I don't think anybody's forgotten that.
They're aware he was beaten up by Brian and Colin Albert.
Or harassing him, saying he was at the house when it's not true.
You've never been in a fight?
No.
You know, Colin Albert, who was a 17-year-old kid at the time, his life has been turned upside down and ruined.
Did you say you would beat them up, or did you say, I will fuck you up?
I said I will F you up.
No, you didn't say, I will F you up. What did you actually say?
That I would fuck them up.
Oh, I can't wait to see Colin. I'm gonna have a lot of questions for Colin. And something tells me he won't be able to control his temper like you did. He can get some. He can get some too. There won't be a dog there to back him up this time. Taking a picture? I'm not afraid of your stupid son. Believe me, I could kick the shit out of your stupid son. Oh, Colin, I feel like of the two of us, I'd be a little more worried about jail if I was you, son. I'm just saying, I feel like I'm going to be good. Yeah. Are you scared? I thought you were intimidated. You fucking punk-ass bitch. Think I'm scared of you?
You indicated you're a bitch, bro.
I've gotten to know the Alberts through all this, and they're all good people.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. That's not a threat.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think you are sure, sir.
That Chris Albert literally is a murderer and went to jail for murder, so, I mean, his sons are just following in his footsteps, right?
Son Colin was a football player through high school, was he not?
Yes.
What was his number?
34, I believe.
And was that for 34 Fairview?
I don't think so.
Learned that somebody else did, in fact, commit a very heinous crime. A friend and colleague of Brian Albert's called me on February 2nd.
Very gravelly voice.
I reached out to Karen Reed.
He said, Dave, you don't know me. I want you to know your client is innocent.
And when I met with them, I didn't know who they were looking at or what, you know what I mean? I didn't really know the focus of it. I didn't know the people involved, whatever. And when they did, I was like, I have to walk away from this. I'm sorry. It's a conflict. If I knew anything firsthand, they would know about it.
And named Brian Albert and his nephew Colin Albert as potential suspects.
How did you know Colin Albert was in the house?
Who?
How did you know Colin Albert was in the house?
I don't even know Colin Albert.
No, but did you tell the attorneys that Colin Albert was in the house when you met with them?
Did I what?
Did you tell the attorneys that, or David Yannetti or whoever, when you didn't mention the name Colin Albert to them?
I didn't even know Colin Albert.
Okay.
They might have said it.
I didn't know what he knew or didn't know. I didn't know how he knew it. He was coy about that.
No, that's not true. That's not true. When I showed up, when I got to them, they're confused. Dave Yanetti's looking.
Well, I haven't talked to Dave Yannetti because I'm not hearing this from him.
Yeah, whoever. No, that's not true, though. I'll be honest with you. I tell you.
Yeah.
I would. Listen, I got nothing to hide.
There's another member of the Albert family that has a Ford Edge, and that's Colin Albert.
Okay.
He believed that it was Brian Albert who had tuned up John.
Stories made up by, Karen and the defense team. The defense attorneys made up a story.
I don't even know if that happened. I don't know anything like this.
Oh, you don't? Oh, okay. I thought that was the tip that they investigated.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't even know. I didn't even know the other guy. I don't even know. No.
Her to act in that situation if she hadn't done something?
More sad.
I didn't see any actual tears, but
you just feel so bad. You just feel, you don't want to see them go through it again.
Constant phone calls.
Seriously, what do you want with me?
I mean, we couldn't leave the house without people taking pictures of us.
Look who it is. Look who's here. Here she is.
You know what? I'm so sick of this shit.
Awful messages.
Showing up to our doorsteps, our sports games.
Chloe was also at the house when you arrived home on January 29th, correct?
Yes.
She's a large German Shepherd.
Yep, about 70 pounds.
Of course, this doesn't look like a road rash. It's not a road rash that any of us have ever seen. Or does it look more like claw marks and bite marks from an animal? Which is exactly what they are.
Say that she's good with strangers?
I'd say she's fine with strangers.
Fine with strangers. Okay.
Yep.
If I enlarge that, it kind of looks like a paw print bruise to me. I mean, tell me if I'm crazy. And I don't know if it's possible to bruise post-mortem.
No, it's not. And it's undoubtedly that those are clearly lacerations, not abrasions. We all know what an abrasion looks like. It's insulting to us to suggest that those are abrasions.
Would you describe the injuries to Officer O'Keefe's right forearm as lacerations or abrasions?
Those are abrasions.
That they are the result of animal bites or scratches.
And do you know what kind of animal?
Oh, yes, most likely dog, large dog. And I'm very very sure to, what's the word I want? Medical certainty. Very
all right, so
high degree of medical certainty.
Reasonable degree of medical certainty.
Yes, definitely. There were also some puncture wounds in that shirt.
And so I'm sorry, puncture wounds in the shirt?
Puncture holes in the shirt.
Did you ask for anything else to review?
No.
Do you have notes with you as to what you reviewed?
No.
Okay, so when you say there might be other, you don't.
Well, if
he tells you what you reviewed, you'd know it.
At any point in time, did you ever look at anything related to Mr. O'Keefe's head injury?
Oh, yes.
So you reviewed reports in relation to that, correct?
Yes.
Do you have any opinions as it pertains to that?
I would rather defer to the pathologist and neuropathologist on that. Oh, well...
and I don't mean to belittle this training whatsoever, but is it fair to say that that was relatively rudimentary training that you received in the academy?
Probably. I would not... yes, okay, probably. If
you don't have any training in crash reconstruction or anything like that, correct?
That is correct.
So you're not board certified in forensic pathology or anatomical pathology or any kind of pathology?
That's correct.
The last time that you worked as a coroner, when was that?
The last time was in 1995.
What, about 30 years ago? Is that about right?
For autopsy, yes. And there were two techniques used at that time: bite and hold, and later on bark and hold, or bark and alert, or something of that nature.
I asked you that the other day, though, and I was told that you reached out to her through an intermediary. I wasn't told she reached out to you through an intermediary.
I don't know that there's a difference. I mean,
what I was trying to get at is this somebody who read about this case and said, I want to be part of that. That's what I was trying to get at. I think it was pretty clear, Mr. Jackson. Go ahead, continue with your argument.
Okay, I did not misrepresent anything to you.
I didn't say that.
I take offense at the court's tone. Yes, you did say that. You just said that. You said, I just heard the testimony, and it's not what I said the other day.
There was absolutely no canine DNA.
There's no evidence. There's absolutely no evidence to support the false narrative that they spread across the internet.
So in addition to the gaggle of paramedics that are covering up for Brian Albert and lying about Karen Reed saying I hit him, even though she went on TV and said that she asked, did I hit him? They're all lying. And there's a mad dog involved, a dog that has no DNA, and a 17-year-old teenager that's never been in a fight. But you also have to believe that all the pieces of the taillight were planted, and that her taillight was broken when she was backing up going like 1 to 2 miles per hour, even though her own expert says that would not have broken the taillight. Now, the cult loves Officer Barrows because Officer Barrows said the taillight appeared cracked.
It was cracked.
And well, that confirms it. It was only cracked, right? The problem is he also says there was a piece missing.
And a piece was missing?
It was caked with snow.
I guess you could say caked on, correct.
And there was a dent on the tailgate.
And beyond the taillight area of that vehicle, what, if anything else, did you observe as far as damage to the rear passenger side area?
Like a dent.
They ignore all those other parts, though, and just say, he said it was cracked, so it was just cracked. There was no pieces missing, but he said there was a piece missing. Not only that, but we have our own eyeballs, and we have the 5 a.m. video of her driving away from John O'Keefe's house, and there's clearly part of her taillight, one of the lights is out. Now, if you're to believe that she cracked the taillight backing up into John O'Keefe's car, you also have to believe that she hit it, not on the edge of the taillight, but in the center of the taillight, hard enough to put the taillight out. These are both SUVs with bumpers at the same height, mind you. And you also have to believe that, that big chunk of taillight that's missing, you didn't see it fall onto the ground. You didn't see it fall into the white snow. And since this is a ring cam, we even have footage of the next morning when they are shoveling the driveway, and there are no pieces of taillight. Wakey wakey. Furthermore, there was a welfare check at 8 a.m. to check on John O'Keefe's kids, and the officer pulls behind Karen Reed's car, not aware that the car is potentially the murder weapon. And we see on that video, there are no red pieces on the right side of her car. So are we supposed to believe that Trooper Proctor took a time machine and went back and took the pieces of the red taillight out of Karen Reed's vehicle and then somehow planted them underneath the snow, even though he was still on video in the Sallyport at the time that they were finding those pieces? I mean, so is the argument that the microscopic pieces of taillight that were found in John O'Keefe's sleeve, those were planted too?
Cop killers, ladies and gentlemen. That's a cop killer right there.
No, this harassment of witnesses started back in April, and that Karen Reed was conspiring with Turtle Boy, sending pictures of the witnesses to Turtle Boy, sending pictures of the witnesses' children to Turtle Boy to harass people, to villainize people in this case.
Stop talking about the O'Keefes in a negative way. Pray for them. Support them. Do what you can for the O'Keefe family. They don't deserve this.
What the fuck is wrong with Peggy O'Keefe? Oh, she's fucking old. You're being mean to the mother. Well, fuck her too. Okay.
We've seen messages where she's saying, fuck Paul O'Keefe. I don't care about that guy. She's calling Kerry a cunt. She's talking about some other girl being a fat ass. Karen Reed is a terrible person. Karen Reed is the villain. Not only is she refusing to take responsibility, but she is attacking all of the witnesses. All these people were her friends at one point. And this is what she does? No remorse whatsoever for what she did? Her and Turtle Boy had 189 phone calls, 40 hours of talk time. What do you think they were talking about? How to harass Jen McCabe? What teams her daughter plays on?
They take pictures of our children. They took a picture of my daughter and put semen on it and said property of some named blogger that I think the defense is very familiar with.
Every single thing that they've been telling us for a year has turned out to be a lie. Rick Green from St. Pete pretty much turned into a puddle on the stand because he couldn't back up any of his claims. He's not even certified in Celebrate.
Pieces and parts were being broken off and shattered while he was removing it?
Not at all. They'll blame Alan Jackson, mostly me and Karen. They'll blame us for creating this fake thing.
Fighting back against corrupted institutions. If we lose faith in our institutions, this country is not what it was built on.
When you put up a story that you are being framed and all of it has been debunked, when you do that, I believe that you're a narcissist, and that's why the interviews don't shock me.
It's not the Karen Reed show. So I just want people to remember the actual victim.
I tried to save his life. I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in his blood. I was the only one trying to save his life.
And then Carrie and I take turns between mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and chest compression.
I was the only one trying to save his life.
And then Carrie and I take turns.
You know goddamn well that woman did not kill John O'Keefe. You know that there are bloodthirsty killers in your town. Colin Albert and Brian Albert killed John O'Keefe.
And we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know.
How dedicated these people are to the lie.
She's going to spend the rest of her life smugly claiming that she stood up to the system.
She wakes up every day and focuses not only on her freedom, but in exposing this corrupt institution.
It is a simple, uninteresting story. And it doesn't get clicks, it doesn't get views, it doesn't get ratings. The conspiracy, this false narrative of a cover-up, that's what gets attention.
In this case, firsthand, I've never seen anything like this, where witnesses have to fear walking out of their car. It's repugnant. It undermines the fabric of the judicial system.
At best, they're going to be the people that got away with murder. At best. So that's their future.
I am a witness. That's all I am. I am not on trial.
When the police served her the search warrant to seize her phone, she locked them out of the house and factory reset the phones.
They're going to look at them funny and just for the rest of their lives.
There was a rolling rally outside of my house where people just screamed at us.
And in those text messages, they found that she was talking to Josh Levy, who was saying, can you delay the trial? Our investigation's still ongoing. And we know from the dates of the ARCA experts that prior to February 15th, her original trial date was March 15th. So prior to February 15th, the investigation had turned up nothing. They already had the grand jury a year before. Nothing. Everything corroborated the investigation. They just got additional text messages which shed no light on any conspiracy or cover-up. And then they utilized those text messages to disparage the witnesses in this trial, to discredit them. And Josh Levy facilitated that. Josh Levy called in the ARCA experts, gave them partial information, and had them whip together a theory that would create reasonable doubt. Now, Dr. Wolf is an expert in vehicle control records.
So I have a number of papers in the field of lighting and optics. I have a recent publication that deals with Toyota and Lexus vehicle control history records as well.
For Toyota, he literally just published a paper on it.
At any point in time, were you shown any tech stream data, Toyota tech stream data from the defendant's vehicle?
No.
So why didn't he evaluate the tech stream data? That's a little weird. Instead, he shot a glass at the taillight to see if it would break, and it broke at 37 miles per hour. So is that the theory now? That the taillight was broken by a glass? Karen Reed's army of nitwits are screaming about science, but is that the science then? It was broken by him throwing the glass at her car, and the glass boomeranged back next to his body, and somehow those taillight fragments got into his shirt? Is that what the theory is? Because science does not support that. Not only did the defense have access to Dr. Wolf, who is an expert in vehicle control history, but Nathan Reed, Karen Reed's brother, works at Toyota. He works at Lexus. You don't think he could have got one of the developers to come and refute the data if there was anything that was remotely refutable? Of course he would. So they couldn't find a single expert to argue the key cycle data, the vehicle control history. That means she hit him. Oh my God, she hit him. Wake up, people.